Of the following. Are those the same?
Yeah. No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not the
Yes.
same.
Oh, no, it's not. Never mind.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Either it is or it isn't.
It ain't. It's not the same.
So,
It's just,
what do you think? Who
Why
says, who
isn't it?
honestly thinks they can explain
Oh wait.
why it is or why it isn't the same?
It's
Oh,
the
it
same.
is, it
Who,
is.
what do you say? Is or isn't?
It is because
Okay, how about you?
it is.
Who else thinks they can explain whether it is or isn't?
Oh, I can explain it.
Okay, how about you? Is or isn't?
It is.
Greater than 2.
All these people are saying is. How come it is? Go ahead, Kenyon, explain it to us.
Because X is greater than 2.
Exactly. Notice what he said first.
oh, yeah.
What did he say? X, he started with a variable, and that's what we've taught you to do, right? Start with a variable. Are both of those things saying X is greater than 2?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the key thing you want to do when we're talking about inequalities. And you want to write this in your notes. So write this in 3-1. Always read from the variable. Always read from the variable. Now, in elementary school, I always rip on elementary school teachers. I don't know why. I think it's because they try and make things easy and then
What
it ends
page
up
is it?
not being true. In elementary school, you did this. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, what page is
At
it?
least I did. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't do it anymore.
What page is it?
I'll make the dinosaur.
Pac-Man.
2.1?
You remember this in elementary school?
We make Pac-Man.
Or Pac-Man or whatever, right?
What?
Okay, and it always says it's trying to eat the what?
The bigger one?
The bigger one, right? Well, that actually is true, but if you read from the variable, then X is what? Greater than, opening to the X, 2. This says the same thing, doesn't it? If you read from the X, X is greater than 2, that still has the Pac-Man that way. The problem is that a lot of kids were taught when you mark this on a number line. So this is where I want to talk about a number line. So then we started marking them on a number line. So here's 0, here's 2. Should I fill in or should I circle 2?
Circle.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's not equal
It's not equal to. Good job, Callie. So yeah, this is not equal to. We're just going to circle it. Does everybody understand that? If it is equal to, if it has a line underneath it, then what would I do? Fill that in. So that's the first part, is identify the key point, which is the numeric value, and then decide whether to circle it and fill it in or just plain circle it. Plain circle it means you're going to get as close as you can to 2, but never touch it, because it's not quite equal, right? Now, this says X is greater than 2. So does this. So where are the numbers greater than 2 on a number line?
Up.
Well, up? I don't know if that's going to do me any good.
Like 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right. There you go. We want to say right. I mean, I understand what you're saying when you're saying up, the numbers that are higher. So it's going to go like this, and we draw an arrow. This implies that it's all numbers that are greater than 2. And it keeps going. The arrow means it keeps going in that direction forever, right? So a lot of teachers teach, hey, this points the direction. Okay, and I see a lot of kids that when they do it on a number line, they just follow the arrow. Is that always true?
No.
I just showed you it wasn't. If this one, I would point the arrow this way and I would go this, but that isn't what it's saying, is it? So it's super important that you read from the what? Variable. Don't just say, oh, if the arrow points that way, that's the way it's going to point on the number line. That's where we mess up. Because what if it's written this way? Then it's not true. You with me on that? So that's super important to understand. So always read from the what?
Variable.
Variable. That's the most important thing. And then think about what it means. Greater than, less than, things like that. Okay? Now the next thing we're going to talk about is writing an expression. Okay? And this is where we end up with some story type problems. But I just want you to think about how you'd write it. And I want you to write it at the bottom of, let's see, let's go page 28. Okay, just at the bottom of page 28, I want you to write an inequality for me when I say this. Okay? So everybody try and do this, and I want to just kind of look around and see who's got it. Okay, here we go. A number is less than or equal to -4. A number is less than or equal to -4. So you're on 3.1. 3.1. You were okay, you were close. 3.1, just at the bottom. A number is less than or equal to -1. Isn't that what I said?
-4.
-4, my bad. A number is less than or equal to -4. Just write that. Just try and write it as an inequality for me. I'm just looking around, making sure everybody's got it. I want you to mention what you wrote.
Oh, well.
No, it's
Don't
it's
change
not
it.
really. Canyon, don't change it.
Oh, don't change it?
No, I don't want you to change it.
Oh, okay, well.
Try again.
We want to talk about it. You guys have a tendency to think that a mistake is wrong. I like to think of a mistake as a learning opportunity. So Canyon, don't just assume it's wrong. It's not actually what you wrote. It's fine. Okay? I said a number is less than or equal to -4, right?
Yeah.
This is what Canyon wrote. Is that wrong?
No.
That is a number that is less than or equal to what?
-4.
-4. But that is not the way we want to mathematically write the statement. Because when we mathematically write a statement, we want it to always be true. Now, -5 is one of the numbers, but is it all of the numbers?
No.
No. So that's why we write it differently. It's not that that's wrong, it's that that's not fully correct. It's like when you get home late, and you shouldn't be. You say, well, we had some car trouble. Yeah, it's that I didn't put the key in it and start it, but that was the car.
Hey, that's
So-
pretty smart.
So we say we had some car trouble, right? And you say that, but really the only car trouble you had is you didn't put the key in it and start the car and head home when you should have. But nonetheless, you say we had car trouble. Now, is it necessarily wrong that you said we have car trouble? No, there is trouble if you don't put the key in and turn the key. But is that really the whole story?
No.
No. Canyon, he said he had car trouble.
Yeah.
By saying -5, right? He told me part of the story, but he didn't tell me the whole story. What I really want to write is a number, and by the way, does it matter what this is? I can put star, I can put, hey, can you grab me another marker,
Please.
Kate, somewhere in there?
Yep.
Or two?
Can she turn on local?
Yeah. A number is less than or equal to -4. How many of you wrote something like that? Whether it's an N, a star, an X, it doesn't matter. Thank you.
Me.
How many of you wrote that? Did anyone write this?
Well, I didn't end.
Okay. So I have 4 of you wrote that. Are either one wrong?
Nope.
No, it does not matter what side the variable's on. Just that you read from the variable. Okay, this is a number. Is less than or equal to -4. This is a number. Doesn't matter what you put there. Is less than or equal to -4. Okay? How would I graph this? Now I want you to graph it. Graph the same thing. On a number line, graph, a number is less than or equal to -4. So right below it, right where on your paper, do it before I do it. Graph me what this means. Okay? Graph it. First of all, what is the key number I should mark? -4. Should I fill it in?
Yes.
Yes. Because of the equal sign underneath it. Everybody got it so far?
Yeah.
Now I got to decide which direction I should go. Think about a number line. This is why a lot of kids put a 0, by the way, is it just kind of helps you with direction.
Left.
Right? I want to go what, Gannon? Yeah, I want to go left. So I make this a little heavier shaded, maybe a little above the line, something so I can recognize that I'm not going both directions. One other thing. A lot of kids put arrows on their number line as they draw them. Don't do that, because I only want the one arrow that's pointing in the right direction. Just kind of let it go off in both directions, but this makes it so that I can tell what you're doing. I want to make that heavier, and I want to make sure I say which direction it's going. It's either going to go left or right, okay? This is about all we're doing, and then we're going to start solving equations just using add and subtract, okay? And I think there's no negatives, so I want to check that. Because that would entail a division. Let me just peek really quick. Those are all fine. This is what I want to make sure. Oh, there is. No, there's not. No. No. No, there's not. Okay, we're good. Okay, so let me do a couple of these. Okay, how would I solve this? Let's start with Griffin. Griffin, how would I solve this? What should I do first? What?
5 minus 4.
5 minus 4. Very good. How come? What did he concentrate on? Like terms and the variables, right? He concentrated on the like terms and the variables. He noticed that both C's were on the same what? Side. Yesterday, when someone was taking a test, they went like this. And they ended up with 9C there. Is that what I should do?
No.
No, they're not on opposite sides of the equation. They're already on the same side. So I'm simply going to combine those like terms, just like Griffin said, and I'm going to take 5C minus 4C. What will that leave?
1C.
Just a C. Not a C, the shining C, but simply a C. All right. Now what should we do, Briley? I got to get rid of the 6. Very good. See how she's focused on the variable? Very good. Okay, how do I get rid of the 6? What is it doing to the C right now? So I pedal backwards. I got to do the opposite thing. What is it? Subtract what? 6. Now a lot of kids think they should flip that sign when they're subtracting. You may remember learning something about flipping the sign of the inequality. It's when you divide or multiply by a negative, but not when you what? Subtract or add a negative. When you're subtracting or adding a negative, no problem, okay? Do not flip the sign of the inequality, okay, unless we multiply or divide by a negative. And we'll be doing that tomorrow, but for now, there's no multiplying or dividing. That's it, pretty easy, okay? Let's try one more, just to make sure you got it. Okay. All right. So, Ryder, what should I do?
7C minus 6C.
Very good. Again, he notices they're on the what? Same side. I'm just going to add these like terms. That's going to give me just C. What else do you notice is on the same side, Brian?
Huh?
What else is on the same side as these C's?
5,
5 and what?
2,
-2, right? So what's 5 minus 2, Brian? 3. So I combine those like terms. Even if they don't have a variable with them, they can still be like terms on the same side. Have I started to make this a simpler problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, much simpler. Okay, Logan, what should I do next to get the C by itself?
-3.
And when I do that, this is the tricky part, what am I going to get on this side?
-16.
Yeah, thanks, Logan, appreciate that.
Oh.
-16. A lot of kids make a mistake right there and they think that it's going to be -10. But remember a number line, right? We subtract 13, we subtract 3 more, you're clear at -16. If the signs are the same, you add and keep the sign. Okay? When you're adding or subtracting. Those are my answers. Are these hard? Nope, these are easy. We're gonna do 2, 1, and 2, 2. You can stop that now.